I don't care if they work or not. You ain't gonna have no problem selling them because, again, a lot of people, music wise, want to go back to that sound, and you can only get it from those products.
Where do you see the future of e-waste and reuse and electronic recycling? The industry is technically called urban mining, and then e-waste is the material that the industry is mining. Where do you feel the future is going to go with trade issues? You saw in COVID when that happened, all the supply chains broke and all that. So talk about that a little bit.
I think we're going to see a shift in a lot of these manufacturers are going to kind of stop making a lot of stuff and maybe take a step back, because a lot of these new millennials are minimalistics.
Yeah.
And they don't like a lot of stuff. And they also, for some reason, want to warp back to the 80s and the 90s. So they're not really even buying new stuff. I have a lot of younger friends that I know that are DJs and musicians. They don't even shop in stores. They shop in thrift stores. They shop at pop-ups. They like used vintage retro stuff. That's been on an uprise for a minute, and it's actually even going up higher. So what I see is I see a decrease in people buying more newer stuff. Like, yo, you know what? Less is more.
Yeah, sure.
So I've been seeing a lot of that push because I'm a minimalist when it comes to my personal life. And I try to do that with my business life too. I don't like having extra stuff if I don't need it. And I think if we can stay at that level and more people get on that minimalistic wave, we will have a lot less waste. So it's just a matter of people starting to invest their money in things that will last longer so they don't have to keep buying the latest and greatest things. Because I get people all the time calling me, do you have any CRT TVs? They want the old TVs. They don't want the flat screens.
Yeah, it's wild how those are coming back.
You see what I'm saying? And guess what? Man, I still got my TV from elementary. It was made in 1993.
Yeah.
It still works. I have it in my closet.
Yeah, I mean, if manufacturers can't make their money by pumping out mass volumes of crap that's going to break easily, right? And the cultural kind of ethos trend changes to minimalism or using things of quality. Big manufacturers like Samsung, they're going to actually have to get into the e-waste game then to offset some kind of expenses. So I can see a world where Samsung is in the e-waste game itself because they're taking all this old material back to subsidize some of their losses if the market is truly being more minimalistic. I mean, the average household has like 9 TVs or something like that. It's disgusting.
Mm-hmm.
But if that does change, the average household having 3 TVs, yeah, they're going to have to get their money somewhere because they have shareholders. That's their whole deal to exist, is to make shareholders money. So I can kind of see a world where they definitely get into the game for sure. And this is this up and downstream market, right? All the material that I'm collecting, I'm giving to a bigger recycler that's R2 certified and has multiple locations, and they come buy my stuff for discount and they sell it for higher. That's just the way it all works. I don't have the space or the employee power to have that kind of material collection. It's not necessarily a bad thing when more manufacturing and more larger companies get into it. I think it's more of a good thing. I think we'll all benefit from that for sure. No,
I think it should be a requirement that every manufacturer that puts out any type of electronic device has to have a way to recycle it for the consumer. If the consumer has a broke TV, Samsung, Vizio, whoever should be providing a way for them to properly get rid of it. They could literally say, hey, Best Buy, we're going to pay y'all a little something if y'all can just collect these TVs for us.
Right.
They can get with whatever company. They need to be able to give these customers a way to get rid of it. I know for you, I'm pretty sure you guys charge for TVs, right?
We do. Yeah, we charge
Right.
$2. Make it as easy as possible.
Right. And even then here it's $20.
Wow.
The cheapest you can get is like $10, but it's like this landfill place. I wouldn't recommend taking it there because I just assume they're gonna probably trash it. But it's like $20 a TV. And then a lot of the other recyclers, they either don't accept or they charge per pound for the TV. So people be like, well, the hell with it. I ain't paying. I'm just gonna throw it out on the street. Or I'm just gonna throw it in the trash or whatever. I don't care. So the manufacturer should be held responsible for allowing the customer who done spent $200, $300, $400 on that TV to be able to recycle it for free. Whether it's somebody coming to pick it up or they have to go drop it off somewhere.
Yeah, I think that every regulation that's created is most likely created for some insider to benefit from, right? So if laws are going to be made, the people that make the laws are going to be thinking about their buddies. and how they can benefit, right? So if regulations are put in place for large manufacturers by mandatory having to accept things, there's going to be a lot of money flowing in to the e-waste industry. And I think, again, that's a good thing for entrepreneurs on a smaller scale for sure.
Right.
Will it happen? I don't know. That's above my pay grade.
Well,
Well,
I'm more on the resale side, man. I'm pushing. I'm even talking to others. I'm like, y'all got to get on that resale side, even if it means, like you said earlier, selling to smaller refurbishers, resellers, because we already have the community for it.
right,
We're
right.
structured to do that anyway. Because if we don't resell, we don't have no money. I don't know about you, but I can be able to pay my bills and stuff if I'm not selling product at a higher value. Because we both
Yeah,
know on the e-waste side, the commodity side, I should say, it's by the pound. So you better
right.
be moving weight.
Yeah, it's
You know,
volume.
so
Yeah, it's
yeah,
all about volume. And if it wasn't for reselling, we wouldn't be in business, you know.
we'd be broke as I don't know what we
Yeah, yeah,
we
yeah.
would have nothing.
The money isn't there for the scrap yet. And that's why people aren't doing it, honestly, because they don't want to get into the resale game. Let me just ask you a couple quick questions. When you're sourcing and a certain type of item comes in and you get all giddy about it, what is that item and why does it make you giddy?
Man, DJ and music production equipment. When I get keyboards, I'm actually looking at them now because I'm in my shop. As soon as we get off this call, I'm finna start repairing some stuff. When I get those keyboards, man, I go crazy because I
Uh,
go back to my childhood. I still have my keyboards, both of my keyboards and my guitar that my parents bought me because I was into music. And that's when I made my first music, my first beats on keyboards. It's therapeutic for me to work on keyboards. Out of all the gear that I repair, I like keyboards out of everything. And I had a guy say to me the other day, he was like, "You are in a great market. It's hard to find people that actually want to work on those types of keyboards." So that's dope.
okay. So talking about community service and education, I'm going to have a section called BOLO, like be on the lookout for certain items. And that is very market trending. For example, during the pandemic, graphics cards were really hard to find because they just sold out. People were stuck at home playing video games. So the be on the lookout, the BOLO alert was, hey, make sure you're reselling these graphics cards. So right now, as far as the industry today in the southern area, what would you see the number one BOLO item is right now?
I'm gonna give you three right now. If
All
you
right.
get them, they're gonna all sell.
All right.
Turntables, record players, reel-to-reel players, and cassette recorders. The multi-track
Okay.
cassette recorders like the Tascams, the little Fostex, those
Okay.
little 4-track portable recorders. You get any three of them, I don't care if they work or not. You ain't gonna have no problem selling them because again, a lot of people, music wise and just in general, are wanting to go back to that sound. And you can
Okay.
only get it from those products. And then people are getting back into vinyl.
My last question is your number one trick for reselling. Is it how you title things? Is it putting things in descriptions? Is it using eBay a certain day? Is it Facebook Marketplace? Like, give me your number one trick if you don't mind, or number two, whatever you want to share.
When it comes to reselling, it's about building a community.
Okay.
And then also being on the platform. I sell on Reverb. I don't sell on eBay. The
Okay.
people that want to buy my products on Reverb. Reverb is dedicated to musicians and those who love audio and music equipment. So
Okay.
it's important to put your products where your target audience is. Because what happens is you don't have to worry about the distractions. Everybody that buys from me on Reverb, they already know what they're buying. I've never had a customer say, "Well, what is that? What does it do? I don't know how to work
Right,
it."
right, right. Okay.
But when you're on eBay, I don't even use eBay no more. I have to ask 1,000 questions. They buy it, don't know what it is because you're open to a general public.
That's good advice. Well, I really appreciate your time and sharing your wisdom. And I think that people like us, they're curious and the business minded, we're going to do well, I think, in this market. We got to stick together and we got to stay in touch. And I really appreciate you making time to network and to share your story. And it's very meaningful to me that you're able to be part of this process.
Man, I appreciate you, guy. You've been supporting me from day one. It's the same thing back. Much love and appreciation for sharing space with me today. I hope you have a wonderful day, a wonderful weekend. I'm about to get back to work because I got a lot of shit to get done.
I feel you. Today's Thursday. It's when we pick up from the city and it's like a grab bag. We never know what we're gonna get. So it's like Thursday. I call like Willy Wonka day. We never know. There's so much stuff awaiting for us today. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go see what we get and enjoy your rest of your weekend.
I appreciate you, Matt.
So
Next
see
time.
you. Bye.
All right. Peace out.